Welcome to another episode of
Bold and brown.
Beauty and the Beast.
Bold and beautiful.
I'll run out of stuff to say now.
It's the first one.
So, welcome to another interesting. Well, we're going to say every topic is interesting because we're biased.
Yes, exactly.
But actually, it is one of my favorite ones. Mm-hmm. How to overcome negativity. There you go.
Get ready to take notes on this one, guys. That's all I'm saying.
So,
You can kick off. It's your topic.
yes, I mean, I've grown up with the theory that everything is bad, everything is negative, the taxes are too expensive, everyone's out to get you, you're overcharged, you know, and this comes from, unfortunately, from my upbringing. Yeah, you know, I don't want to say anything bad about my dad, but generally can see the negative in everything or find it at least. And that's the way, you know, I've kind of been brought up. So, you know, having this victim mentality is not so far-fetched. It is very home to me growing up, and, you know, everything bad, everyone's bad. And you know, it's a horrible thing. But when you have that experience, you believe it so much that you can't be told otherwise. And I love when I watched, if you haven't seen this on Netflix, I Am Not Your Guru by Tony Robbins. I saw this a while ago, over 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. It didn't kind of register. But when I went to see Tony Robbins, his events, and then I subsequently saw this documentary, which is on Netflix, I Am Not Your Guru, it made so much sense. And it was, you know, you have to be ready to receive what he's saying. You've got to be there. You've got to have an open mind. And what he says is that life happens for us, not to us. So even the bad. And he goes through this, like an intervention where there's a Q&A, and he speaks this, you know, this girl, you know, this is something which, you know, seeing it, I remember I was just being reduced to tears because he's talking about her problems and her dad. And he says, you know what, your dad is the way he is because to shape you and mold you. So life happens for us and not to us. That's one of my biggest learnings.
Yeah, it's a really big topic, this is, because negativity, like, you know, how to avoid negativity, sometimes it's how to avoid it in ourselves. You know, sometimes it's how to avoid the negative thoughts. Like, you've got the internal negativity and then you've got the external factors that create negativity. So, you know, even internally thinking about it, and again, you know, I was listening to an amazing subject from Kevin Trudeau, where he talks about personal responsibility. And again, the first couple of times it didn't quite hit me, but then as I kept on listening to it again and again, and guys, repetition is key when listening to anything, by the way. When I was listening to it, I was like, when you take personal responsibility, it means that you stop playing the blame game. You stop blaming, oh, this is how, you know, I was brought up in a broken home, so therefore da 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 da, or my teachers never gave me a chance, or my boss was like this and the economy's like that, and I lost my job because, you know, when you're constantly blaming other things or other factors, you're creating that negative space within yourself. So you've got to look at yourself, like, how are you viewing things in your life? Are you seeing them for the positive? And hey, I'm no guru myself. Like, believe me, we are human like everyone else. We also have these moments of negativity and feeling low and feeling down and thinking, oh my God, what can we do? But it's how quickly you can snap out of it. How quickly can you snap out of that negative moment and realize, actually, you've got to change something quickly, because the more you stay in this frequency, the more you're only affecting yourself. You know, you're not going out there to hurt anyone else. You're hurting yourself by being in that negative vibration. So that's an important thing to understand.
I mean, it all came from me. I never forget because I actually wrote it down in my diary. I thought I was a positive person. And generally, if you, I know him from before, you'll be like, he's a very positive person. Generally, you know, happy, smiling. But inside, you know, there'll be times, and now thinking back, there were a lot of times where I'll be thinking negative inside. And I'll never forget once, it was in 2019. And how I know this date, because I was on the phone to a mentor. We were in a business where we had mentors, and the business that we were in was actually going backwards. People were leaving the organization, the team, and the money was going down. And he done a module and so many things that I learned from him. I'll never forget this gentleman for the rest of my life. And he says, you have to lie to yourself and say to yourself, things are going great. Things are going amazing. And I was thinking, what are you talking about? How on earth can things be going great when they're going backwards? That doesn't make sense. I mean, just, I'm a lawyer. I need logic. And he says, this is what you got to do. So in 2019, I'll never forget. And I took it to heart what he said first and foremost. I said, all right. This is what I actually said to myself. I said, all right, David. His name's David. I thought this. I said, David, just to shut you up, you know what? I'm going to do what you're saying. This is crazy anyway. I'm going to be happy when things are going bad. And I remember phoning him once. I was saying, look, I've been doing this and I'm calling you to say that things may not be going great in the business, but I tell you what, I'm feeling something different. I've never felt like this before. I'm actually feeling good. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling optimistic and I'm looking for the good. And he goes, right, 1 year today, write this date down. He goes, you watch what happens. And I was like, all right, cool. I remember writing in my diary the next year, that date. And 7 or 9 days before that date, we hit a rank, a milestone. It was actually multiple 6 figures in that business. And I'll never forget, I was like, wow, that is the power of being positive. And I became a believer then. So now, don't get me wrong, if things are bad, you probably see it in my face sometimes. But generally speaking, on the whole, I'm forcing positivity.
Yeah.
Like when my wife is bad to me, I force myself.
Anyone believe that? Anyone here can believe that?
But actually, and maybe you've noticed this as well.
Yeah.
Now, if I am, and both of us, me more, if I'm feeling negative or down, it thankfully doesn't last as long as it used to. It used to last for days and weeks, maybe.
It used to last a good 3 to 5 days.
Or feeling negative, feeling down,
victim
and then
mentality. Pouring out to everyone else in the house as well. But yeah, no, we snap out of it a lot quicker. So that's really, really important what we've just discussed. And another thing is, in business, in relationships, oh my God, I used to feel this all the time. Like Vinay used to criticize me all the time in my relationship. I started feeling so negative, like am I ever going to be good enough for him? Nothing that I do is right for him. And I was very much on like defensive mode, right? And I was starting to feel negative in my relationship. And I realized, actually, let me turn that criticism into something like constructive. Let me learn from what he's saying. Let me, because I can't see my weaknesses or my negative points, he could see it more. And this is something that I need to work on. So I think it's important to also understand that any criticism you get, don't take it as a negative. Take it as a learning, right, how can I get better? Because at the end of the day, that's all we want to do, right? We want to become better people for everyone else and for ourselves.
It's a big thing. I mean, critics can sometimes be the best person to give you advice. And it may not be nice what they say. I'll give you an example of this. I was actually going to put a post on my social media about this when my 4-year-old daughter said to me, and she built me up, then she tore me right back down. But I got to hand it to her. Kids are very honest, as you know. So she said, Papa, how comes you got such big muscles? You got such big shoulders. And there's me thinking, well, Papa goes gym and, so I was like, and then the next question was, and Papa, why have you got such a big nose? And I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa.
Oh,
I was like, baby, you're my baby. And you watch one day, you might grow into this nose. No, I'm just saying, it was like, I was thinking, well, maybe she's got a point. And maybe, it's a Punjabi nose, maybe I need to maybe grow a little beard to kind of cover it, make it not so, subtle. But anyway, the point I'm making is this. Critics can be our best friends sometimes because, look, hey, just to let you know, I think we can all distinguish between a critic, someone who says something just to kind of upset you, someone who criticizes you because they themselves are jealous, envious, or whatever. That's different. I'm talking about a genuine critic. And might be like, when it comes to gym, do it this way, or when it comes to business, do it this way, or whatever. But if you can turn that criticism, after you've got over the anger of it, there might be a point they're making. and use that criticism to fix what it is, or use it as fuel to change. So it can, I think that's a big learning to actually
Exactly.
take into a positive.
Definitely. And, if you're in a position yourself in your jobs or your business where you take on like a leadership role or a managerial role, and you need to say something to, say, your staff or, your the people who are working with you, it's so important. It's like a fine line, right, between criticizing and just being scared to not say anything. So for me, it's something what we call a sandwich. It's positive, negative, and then positive. Sandwich it. So for example, someone's doing a presentation for you, or they're doing a presentation for the company, and it may have not been perfect, but you can just start off with, hey, do you know what? That was amazing. You really, really gave it your all. I can see the effort that you put into this. However, there's just a couple of things that I would change here. Maybe mention that in there instead. But overall, you did amazing. Your tone was great. Your body language was great. And let's just keep working on it. So you don't pick out the negative from that, because you've actually sandwiched it, right? With two positives below and above. So, even giving criticism to other people, it's so important how we are doing it, how we are delivering it, as well as how they're going to receive it.
I think looking back as well, I mean, I've been criticized. Sometimes it's really hurt. But sometimes it's been a criticism direct. And when you sandwich things, I mean, when I speak to people, if I want to kind of just say something, whether it be, staff work for me or a friend or something, I'll be like, look, really good, amazing, start with point positive and be truthful about it. Just find something positive in what they are doing and focus on that, highlight that, and then go into what you are, your concern is or whatever it is, something that you think can be done better, and then followed by another positive, and that can really help save relationships. It can really create a positive, environment for you and that person, rather than that person, oh, you're criticizing everything I do, every little thing is just not good enough. So, I mean, criticism, at the end of the day, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we both put all our life on social media. There's going to be people criticizing us, all the time. And there were much more. But as time goes on and they start to see great things that happen as well, whatever you're doing, the criticisms start to go, either they decline or you don't feel them, or maybe a bit of both. Because there's less criticism now. It's more about, I remember, like going to the gym, and especially when I go to the gym, some people come to me and say, what are you doing? What's your routine? I saw you from before and now and whatever. And, before it was like, what are you doing? A bit of criticisms from other people. And then those criticisms become into now, oh, how do you do X, Y, and Z? Whether it be business as well. First they're criticizing you about this is this. And after you get some success, then they're asking, oh, how did you do that? And you say, first of all, don't take it personal about criticism. Keep focused, keep going, and don't listen to anyone.
Exactly. And I think in this whole topic of beating negativity, rejection is another big thing. Rejection, I'm going to be very honest, like I grew up like, I guess, every job interview I went to, I got the job. And I've had over 25 jobs in my life. I lost count after like 20. And, so when I started like working in certain places and then started this whole entrepreneurship journey, the way that I was getting rejected, it was like a slap in the face. I thought to myself, oh my God, I feel so stupid. Like these people must be laughing at me, and why they're saying no to me. And it took me from there, I was so hyped up, so excited to speak to people, to literally like ground zero. Like I felt like nothing. And I realized, like, how do you get over this kind of, negativity? Well, rejection is redirection. For me, someone saying no, and the way I look at it now, the more no's you get, you're a step closer to a yes. So I actually started off, and I think we've got this on my rejection board.
Rejection board.
My target 100 rejections. I wrote that down on like a massive A1 board, and I started writing the names down of every single people, and the numbers, by the way, mobile numbers with it, in case I need to call them back and be like, hey, how's life going?
Just say them in your phone.
I could, but phones, anything can happen to phones. We've all lost phones, we've all lost
deep.
Numbers, we've all lost.
That's deep. You make sure you want to call them back.
Exactly, yeah. So I had their names, I had their phone numbers, and I had them on my rejection list. And a lot of them were the people that were closest to me, my nearest, dearest family, best friends. They were the ones on there who rejected the business opportunity or rejected whatever. And I was like, "Do you know what? This is going to be my fuel." Because now I'm looking at this rejection board and I'm like, thank you. I want another rejection. I want 100 rejections, because that takes me out of the box of being an amateur. Until you've got 100 rejections, you're still an amateur. And you then want to aim for 500, for 1,000 rejections. The more you have, the better. So turn that rejection into a positive thing and say, well, I'm going to keep going for more. I'm going to keep going for more. Like, we see success stories all the time around this, right?
Well, I'm just thinking, the amount of times you've rejected me.
Well, I've rejected you. Are you sure?
Well, I get rejected by Rupa a lot, and I should have a board, because I know rejection is just...
Okay, now we're talking about
something
another
completely
topic altogether.
Anyway.
Which is for another day. It's too
Another day,
soon.
another podcast. But, you know, negativity, you know, and we've heard these saying, I can't think of a quote that comes to mind, but nothing is good or bad. It's our interpretation of it. You know, people might think it's bad, but it actually is, like Rupa said, a rejection is a redirection. You know, thank God that, you know, classic example. So Kevin Trudeau, one of our favorite all-time personal development coaches, and he says that, you know, someone might be saying, you know, is putting out a signal, an intention of getting a new job. I really want a new job. No, sorry, I want to earn X amount of money in a job. Sorry, that was what it was. And he's really putting it out there. He's praying. He's doing all the things that he needs to do. And the next day he says, oh, by the way, you're getting sacked. He's like, my God, I'm getting sacked. Now, he goes, what will most commonly happen is people will be like, oh my God, it's so bad. You had a job and now you've got no income. And he goes, that's redirection. You asked for something and now you think this is a negative situation, which temporarily, okay, you might experience that. But ultimately, it's going to lead on to something amazing. It could lead on to another job.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if we dig deep enough, you know, the things that will happen really bad for us at the time, and you're like, oh my God, you know, why is God doing this? That kind of questions, those kind of questions arise. You realize that end up thinking, thank God that happened.
100%.
And I remember listening to another one of our favorite ones, both actually, Inky Johnson. And he goes, look, this is how you do with negativity. But he goes, look, you don't go out there and saying, hey, adversity, please hit me.
Yeah.
You're not saying negativity come my way so I can get redirection. No, you're not looking for it. When it comes, not if, you know how to deal with it in a positive mindset. And hey, if you get upset, you feel negative, make that short.
Yeah.
You know, don't make it so long. Don't make it like Rupa for like days. Don't make it like me. Yeah, sorry, what was I saying?
Don't let it drag.
Don't let it drag. Remember, I used to let it drag. Rupa used to upset me, right, guys? And I used to be upset with her for like...
It was the worst thing ever. It would just pull me into like a whirlpool, you know, like washing machine, like it just sucks you in. But you know what I realized? Like, by me reacting that way, by me actually like letting him take that energy from me, I'm doing it to myself. I'm creating more negativity in myself. So now I've just learned to ignore it.
Well, I don't even do it as much.
You don't do it as much, no.
But used to go, now it could be a couple of hours. It might even be 30 seconds. Sometimes it might be
half a day.
Half a day.
At the most, yeah.
Max. Before it was like a couple of days, a week or two. It could
terrible.
be, it can really be long
And it wasn't
term.
even a fight. It was a silent treatment.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
That was the worst
yeah,
thing.
you know how it is.
It wasn't a fight. It was just like no communication. Like
silent treatment is a very good tool.
It's the worst thing ever. It's the most frustrating thing. It's like, talk to me. Tell me you're upset. Tell me you're pissed off. What is it? But yeah, it's interesting. But you learn to work together and you learn to, you know, grow from it, get better from it. And I think there's so many other ways that you can, if you're feeling like you're in a negative state, there's so many other things you can do. You know, you can, and you've got to be so conscious of this stuff that it's going to help you. Turn on a great audio, something that makes you feel good.
That's my favourite.
The best thing to do, the first thing when we wake up in the morning, we're listening to some audio. There's something that really gets you excited about waking up in the morning. You know, just open a book and read something that you really enjoy reading. Call your friend up and be like, hey, you free? Let's hang out. Let's spend time together. As long as that friend isn't negative.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to a negative person about your negativity, then guess what?
You'll have a negative party.
Exactly. As they say, it's like spilling milk. Right, sorry, spilling ink into a pot of milk, like it's going to spread everywhere. So if you're going to meet someone because you're feeling negative, go and meet someone positive. Put it that way. These are really important pillars, guys, to actually come out of that negativity yourself. But first of all, you have to be aware that you're in negative frequency.
Yeah, so it's funny you say that because I don't want to say the name of my mom. Just
Say
visit
it.
to my dad and say, why are you angry? And I get angry a lot, and he'd always say, "It's not me, it's you, the family." So not accepting responsibility that your outside world is controlling how you feel inside. That means other people, other events, circumstances
Yeah.
are controlling how you feel. So that you're not really in control, are you?
Yeah.
You're at the whim. You're at the you're at the end of somebody else's
You're giving it power.
word, action. Yeah, they're going to control how you feel. So you've
Yeah.
lost all your power. And I think one of the biggest things is, Kevin Trudeau says this: the first thing you have to accept is that everything is your fault.
Yeah.
It's your fault. It's not the government. It's not the taxes. It's not the situation. It's not that
deep.
person. It's not her. It's not Rupa. It's not your wife. It's not your girl. It's not.
It's a slap in the face.
I'm just saying, I'm making a very important point here. It's not. It's you.
Yeah.
And the moment you start to accept that, magic happens, because if you are saying it's your fault, guess
Yeah.
what? You can do something about it.
Exactly.
You've taken responsibility. Now, if you sit there and say it's the other person, it's the government, it's the taxes, it's this, it's healthcare, well, then you can't do nothing about it, because it's not your fault, is it? It's the other person's fault. So it's really important that we recognize that negativity will come. And I'm not saying we're going to be a robot and say, oh, well, I don't get upset about anything. Yes, you will. I remember that day we were going to the airport, and there was an issue with the car, and the person wouldn't come. And,
Oh my God.
And we were going to miss our flight, and the person who was going to take our car, the company, was very late in the wrong. And it was just, and then I was like, wait a minute. What am I doing? What am I saying to attract this? I need to switch it. So I thought, let me just focus and be so grateful that we are going to board this plane. We're with the kids, and everything's going to go so smoothly. So I had a moment there, and it was for half an hour I was feeling horrible, and then I thought to myself, what am I doing? Why am I letting this one situation control how I think I feel moving forward? And so just by doing that, and then it was like magic. I slowly started to feel better and better, and I went, you know what, it's fine, it's happened. Maybe that, I rationalize things. For example, if I get in my car and someone cuts me up really badly, I mean, if I was about to crash, that would be different. But generally speaking, I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe he's in a hurry, maybe he's having a bad day, he or she. Someone does something, and I think it's cool or whatever, within limit.
Yeah.
So having that it makes me feel better, and I can move forward and counteract that negativity.
Yeah, I used to actually, sometimes you'll wake up in the morning and you feel like you've just woken up the wrong side of the bed. Like you get bad news or something, a message on your phone, and then it's like something else happens. And don't you notice it's like a knock-on effect? Like you started off with something negative, and then it's more bad news, then it's something else, and your day's going, but then you missed that appointment, and then you forgot, and it's just like, it's never ending. It's like a non-stop cycle. And now I've become so conscious of it that if something negative happens to me in the morning, I'm actually scared to continue with that frequency. Like I'm scared to carry out that energy, because I'm thinking, oh my God, something's going to happen in my day if I carry this frequency in my mind. Right, switch. Right, let's think about this. Let's look at that. Let's do that. And, you've got to change it straight away, because this is how effective the law of vibration is. Like whatever you vibrate, it's going to come back to you. And it's the same with when you're talking crap about other people. I was going to say the S word. I don't know if there's kids watching this, but when you're talking bad or negative about other people, it's easy to get into that kind of gossip mode and, bitch and moan and say, oh, she did this and he did that. Da, 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 da. Remember, whatever you say out to someone else, the world is saying back to you. Like whatever you give, you're going to receive. So like when you point a finger, you've got 3 fingers pointing back at you. It's always a case. So next time you want to bitch about someone or say something nasty, you just, again, we're human. If it's going to happen, it kind of happens naturally. If someone's really done something to get under your skin, you just, you don't even think. It's like an instinct, right? You're going to have a reaction. But rather than have a reaction, learn to respond.
Don't react, respond.
Exactly. Learn to respond in a way where it's not going to affect you. You're not going to have the universe coming back at you in a negative way. And they say you're the average of 5 people you spend most of your time with. So, you know,
Don't spend time with negative people.
exactly.
You'll be the sixth.
Absolutely. So it's a big topic, guys, to take away. Anything else you
No,
want to add to it?
I think that covers it all. Unless, please drop some comments, questions, observations. We always welcome. And always like and subscribe to our channel.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time on Bold and Brown.